some insight as to the plethora of directives that we have. Good morning, Mr. James.
Good morning. Peter James, Election and Compliance Administrator. As has been the habit in recent years. Okay, sorry about that. Peter James, Election and Compliance Administrator. As has been the habit in the last recent years, the Secretary of State's office has made updates to the election official manual early in the calendar year. So this year is no different. However, the updates made in this most recent iteration, it doesn't encompass all the chapters, in part because if you remember last summer, there was a significant update to the election official manual following the biennial budget that was passed by the governor, because there was some significant election law changes that resulted from that. In addition, they updated the format of it and such. So for this, changes, there weren't necessarily a lot, and almost all of them stemmed from Senate Bill 293. So I just, in your packet, detailed the changes that, affected our administration of elections one way or another. Just quickly wanted to highlight a few of them just that I think are a little bit more significant than the others. On the subject of the voter registration mismatch record, if a voter has a mismatch record on either of these following three categories, a driver's license or state ID, social security number, or date of birth, the voter has been sent already a voter confirmation notice and are being placed in a must-vote provisional status. If this voter, say in this upcoming May election, shows up to vote, they must rectify this mismatch record at the time they vote when they vote that provisional ballot. If they do not do that, their registration will be immediately canceled following the election. If a voter with a mismatched record received a voter confirmation notice as well, but they do not show up to vote, well, first of all, I should say in each of these scenarios, a voter receives this voter confirmation notice for a mismatched record, they are automatically put on that 4-year cancellation clock. So if you do go to vote, it's sort of like, okay, in real time, you're here, you need to rectify this. If you don't, you get canceled. If you are a mismatched record and you're on the 4-year clock, but you do not vote, you just remain in the must-vote provisional status until you either vote or you reach the end of the 4 years, whichever comes first. And then if you don't do anything to correct the record in that 4 years, your record will be canceled. Quickly, as it relates to poll workers, we already knew this, but for some reason they didn't include it in the EOM update last year. The poll workers, if they earn less than $2,500 per calendar year, which is every poll worker is never going to reach that number, they do not, they're exempt from having to pay into PERS. They added, it made sure they included in the EOM, and they've sent this out in other communications, is poll worker training must cover both the mismatch record verification process that I just talked about, and then also another part of Senate Bill 293 was the process to go through to check the citizenship of a voter if their citizenship is to be challenged. Marlene in the poll worker department has already updated their training. It reflects this, so when training begins in about 2 weeks, we will meet that requirements. Lastly, underneath absentee voting, as you guys probably already know, all non-Cuyahoga ballots must be received by the Board of Elections by the close of polls on Election Day. Cuyahoga voters, however, still have the 4 days after the election for their ballot to arrive. And then one takeaway from all this is that the postmark, which used to be something that we would have to check to make sure a ballot was mailed on time, is no longer applicable at either circumstance because, if somebody's mailing the ballot on Tuesday of Election Day, it's not going to be obviously received in time by the close of polls, so that's no longer relevant. In the case of Cuyahoga ballots, it's just a matter of whether we receive that ballot within the 4 days following the election. And then just the last note I make, if you've visited our website within the last week, we have added a box on the homepage, fairly prominent, that features changes and updates made as a result of Senate Bill 293. So we touch on these points and a few others in there, I think, in fairly plain language that hopefully any voter who might have some questions as to what was updated as a result of this will know. And we did make, the specific point in that, yes, there are 11,000 or so voters with a registration mismatch. That is a very, very tiny percentage of all voters that are out there. And if you do get a voter confirmation notice, return that as soon as possible, get that corrected, and then, you won't have any issues when you go to vote. Other than that, that was pretty much I think the significant changes that resulted from these updates they made to the EOM.
Thank you, Mr. James. Board members, any questions for Mr. James? Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Hearing none, I move to acknowledge Secretary of State Directive 2026-04, updated election official manual, and all of the directives highlighted in agenda item number 2.
Second.
Second by Ms. Stewart. All in favor, aye. Aye, the ayes have it. And then we have Secretary of State Directive 2026-16, the examination and verification of candidate and petitions filed with the Secretary of State's office. I move the acknowledgement of that Directive 2026-16.
Second.
Second by Ms. Stewart. All in favor, aye. The ayes have it. And on to absentee services, I move the approval to outsource the printing and mailing of the vote-by-mail ballots for the May 5th, 2026 primary election.
Second.
Second by Mr. McCafferty. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. On to business services, the chair recognizes Ms. Tara Brown. Good morning, Ms. Brown.
Good morning, Tara Brown, Manager of Business Services. So I have 3 resolutions. I'll just go through all 3. The first one is for the printing and mailing of the voter information guides for the 26th May primary election for a total amount not to exceed $30,043.42. So that amount includes it's $27,312.20 plus a 10% contingency for any unplanned services. The second one is for the printing and mailing of the vote-by-mail applications for the 26th May election from Weekly's mailing service. And the third item is a direct result of SB 293, which rendered our current supply of envelopes obsolete. So it's for 30,000 provisional envelopes from MailPro 1 for the 26th primary election. So we did seek to go with 30,000 just in case additional changes are made before the November election.
Thank you, Ms. Brown. Any questions for Ms. Brown related to these resolutions? All right, hearing none, I move the approval of resolutions in agenda item 5, A through C inclusive.
Second.
Second by Mr. McCafferty. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Brown. And on to candidate and petition services, the chair recognizes Mr. Brent Lawler. Morning, Mr. Lawler.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, board members. Brent Lawler, Manager of Candidate Petition Services. The first item on your agenda should be the acknowledgement of intent to retire resignations from an appointment to elected office.
Okay, and we have those, sir. The intent to retire is Brendan J. Sheehan, Court of Common Pleas, General Division Judge, term ending January 4th, 2027. And a resignation from office, Shane Tomer, Brooklyn Heights Village Council, Member of Council. And the following appointments to elected office, we acknowledge Timothy W. Clary, 8th District Court of Appeals Judge, term ending 12/31/28. Charles G. Hudson, Brooklyn Heights Village Council Member of Council, and Hillman Lindsay, Woodmere Village Council Member of Council. I move to acknowledge those intents to retire, resignation, and appointments.
Second.
Second by Mr. McCafferty. All in favor, aye. The ayes have it. Mr. Lawler.
The next item would be the acknowledgement of candidate withdrawals from the May 5th primary election.
Okay, and we have, those are included in our packet, and I move those with withdrawals.
Second.
Second by Mr. McCafferty. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it. Thank you. Mr. Lawler?
The third item would be the acknowledgement of issue withdrawn from the May 5th primary election.
Okay, and that's number 8. And those are 2 issues. We have Cleveland 2N, local liquor option Sunday sales for G.D. Warner doing business as Cleveland Convenience Store, and Cleveland 11C, local liquor option Sunday sales for K.D. Madison Incorporated. I move to acknowledge those withdrawals.
Second.
Second by Mr. McCafferty. All in favor, aye. The ayes have it. And Mr. Lawler.
And the final item would be the certification of candidates and issues, but before we get to that, you should have received an updated version of petitions in review today. We had one withdrawal over the weekend. Should be dated 2/17, I believe, in the upper corner, upper right.
Yes, sir. Yes.
Everybody have that?
Yeah.
Not yet. It's a horizontal sheet. Do you have that, Ms.
Nine.
Stewart? It's a horizontal sheet. Do you have that, Mr. McCafferty?
I think they do.
It's under 9.
Under 9, okay, let me look.
I have nothing in
A
9.
lot
Yeah,
of
that.
paper here.
I don't know if we can rotate it though.
There you go. Yep, there you go.
Is it in the back?
I don't have,
I will show it to you. Yeah, give it her paper. Get Tony's got a hard copy for you.
It looks like this.
Mine is, you can't read it here.
oh, okay, that's,
There you go.
got it.
Perfect.
There it is. Well, it turns.
Got it.
Yeah, that's.
Here you go. Everybody got it?
Then it turned out.
Okay, so the first items are going to be the local options do not have the 50 minimum qualifying signatures, and that's J. Beatty LLC, doing business as Never Say Dive. That's a Cleveland 4 Precinct I, and that's, the second one is Chevet 22 LLC, DBA is Shaker Smoke and Beverage. That's Shaker Heights H. And the third one is 56 Kitchen Social, and that's Shaker Heights O. And those are all 5R specific locations. Question number 2, we ask that the board remove them from the ballot for not having the qualifying minimum number of signatures.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Lawler. We've heard Mr. Lawler's commentary on these, and so the motion, I move that they not be certified to the ballot.
Second.
Okay, thank you. Any unreadiness? All in favor, aye.
Aye.
The ayes have it.
Thank you. The second item would be Democratic State Central Committee candidate Dantes Taylor. He did not have the 5 qualifying minimum signatures, and we ask that you do not certify him to the ballot.
Thank you. We've heard Mr. Lawler. I move that Mr. Taylor not be certified to the ballot.
Second.
Second by Ms. Stewart. All in favor, aye. Aye, the ayes have it.
The third item, the remaining candidates will all be Cuyahoga County Democratic Central Committee. We have numerous candidates that did not meet the 5 qualifying signatures, and we ask that you not certify them to the ballot. That would be Gloria Duncan, Cleveland 8P, Lakeisha Hassan, East Cleveland 2B, Roseanne Shisklowski, North Royalton 1C, Lakeisha Nickerson, that's Woodmere A, Jason Robinson, Cleveland 8J, Landon Ruffin, Cleveland 5F, Elijah Scott, Cleveland 8H, Jane Watkins, Cleveland 8N, Emma White, Cleveland 12D, and finally Deborah Wilson, Cleveland 6L.
Thank you, Mr. Lawler. I move that those candidates not be certified to the May primary election ballot.
Second.
Second by Mr. McCafferty. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Aye, the ayes have it.
Thank you. The next item is, as you well know, candidates need to fill out the front of their petition prior to obtaining signatures. In this case, the majority, these candidates got signatures and then went back after the fact and had dated the petition. There's a lot of false information out there, especially from ward leaders. Those candidates are Daryl Billups, Cleveland 1C, Jessica Koza, Strongsville 3C, J. Robert Loftus, Bay Village 1A, Freddie Moore, Cleveland 9T, and Daniel Schirmerbeck, Lakewood 1I.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Lawler. I move that those candidates not be certified to the May primary election ballot.
Quick question.
Yes, we have excuse me, one point of order. I got the motion on the floor. Is there a second? There's a second. Now we can have discussion.
Okay, thanks. How do you determine that?
Pardon me?
How is that how do you find that out?
The date,
Oh,
Somebody tell you that after? Or
it's written on the thing.
do they fill it out when they bring it down?
so on the front of the petition,
Yeah,
they have to date it. and then you look at the back and when they sign it, and if the dates are off on the back, then we don't count the dates that are before the date of the signing.
So it's like they fill it out, it's like February 1st, and the back it's like,
January 30th, yeah,
Okay.
right,
So they've incriminated themselves.
Yes.
With their petitions.
Yes.
Okay. That's what I want to know. Thanks.
so you can see all but one had, one had zero, he did that completely wrong, but there are some people that just had a few dates that were before the date, so.
I see. Yeah, thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you, Mr. McCafferty. Thank you, Mr. Lawler. Okay, having heard that, I move that those candidates, Billups, Causa, Loftus, Moore, and Schrimbeck, not be certified to the May primary election ballot. Oh, I've already moved it. Yes, okay, yes. See, I got thrown off up here. All right.
Sorry, Mr. Chairman.
We've called the question.
I stirred you up.
All in favor, aye. Aye, the ayes have it.
Thank you. The next item is, we know on the circulatory clause in the back of the petition, the candidate has to fill in the numbers so that the number was witnessed. We had one person, Peter Nelson from Cleveland 8F, who left that number blank. So that makes that petition completely invalid.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Lawler. I move that Mr. Nelson not be certified to the May primary election ballot.
Second.
Second by Mr. McCafferty. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it.
The next item is the candidate did not provide their precinct and the office sought. Therefore, the board doesn't know what office they're running for, neither do the people that are signing, which makes the petition invalid. And that person is Reginald Clark from Brooklyn Heights A.
Thank you. I move that Mr. Clark not be certified to the May 2026 primary election ballot.
Second.
Second by Mr. McCafferty. All in favor, aye. Aye. The ayes have it.
Thank you. The next item is the candidate John Carlino from Cleveland 4K listed 4462 Pearl Road as on his petition as his voting residence, and he's actually registered at 4662 Pearl Road. So that makes the petition invalid.
Okay.
We ask you not certify him.
Thank you, sir. I move that Mr. Carlino not be certified to the May 2026 primary election ballot.
Second.
Second by Ms. Stewart. All in favor, aye. Aye. The ayes have it.
And our final one is Isaac Rowe from Cleveland 5E. He was actually a Republican. He voted in 2024 as a Republican, and as we know, the look back is for the previous 2 years, you could not vote in an opposing primary in 24 or 25. So he's not qualified to take office.
Okay, thank you, sir. I move that Mr. Rowe not be certified to the May 2026 primary election ballot.
Second.
Second by Mr. McCafferty. All in favor, aye. Aye. The ayes have it.
And then the final item would be the certification of all the candidates. You should have a main candidates list, Democratic Central Committee, and then the issues. And we handed out the Central Committee just now.
Yes. Okay. Well, thank you, Mr. Lawler. I move the certification of the candidates to the May 5th, 2026 primary election ballot as included in our board packet.
Second.
Second by Mr. McCafferty. All in favor, aye. Aye. The ayes have it. Thank you, Mr. Lawler.
Thank you, board members.
Yeehaw.
On to our human resources personnel agenda. We do have a recommendation. The chair will defer to Mr. Gallagher, our deputy director. Sir, if you'd like to say a word about our consideration here.
Yes, the appointment is for Marie Andel. She is for the assistant manager in the business services department. She's well qualified for the position. In the business services department is one of those departments within our agency that has continued to grow, especially with all the factors with being in a new building and as we continue to be on 2 different campuses. With that, we've seen the need for creating an additional position in the Business Services Department in which the duties can be better split and attention can be given both to, also with the multiple contracts that we have and bids that go out along with the business services as far as the maintaining of the building. So this way we'll have 2 assistant managers within that department. And Marie has demonstrated as a good candidate for this position.
Thank you, Mr. Gallagher. Having heard that, I move the appointment of Marie Andel to Assistant Manager, Business Services Department, effective March the 2nd, 2026.
Second.
Second by Mr. McCafferty. All in favor, aye.
Aye.
Aye, the ayes have it. And the chair recognizes Mr. Gallagher for new business.
All right, well, thank you. Now that the candidates and issues have been certified for the election, I just wanted to give you a brief overview of some of the next steps that multiple departments will be taking in the days and weeks ahead. For the ballot department, they can now begin building the ballot. It starts with the creation of source documents and proofing the district information and candidate information. Once the ballot is laid out and finalized, it will undergo a rigorous testing to ensure that every oval position is accurately reflects each voter's selection. Once the ballot is finalized, they will also begin the process of logic and accuracy testing of all the voting machines that will be going out to each polling location. Their seasonal workers are scheduled to begin, I believe, sometime next week. The absentee ballot services department, they have been working to update all their forms to comply with Senate Bill 293. They're currently, our early in-person vote center has gone through some construction. Now they're going back in. And we did have our first election in November in the early vote center, but we anticipate higher turnout for the May election and especially in the November election. So at this point, they're going through examining how we have queued voters in as they enter and working on flow patterns. Also, as you know, the Board of Elections hires between 3,000 and 4,000 election day workers. We also hire over 200 seasonal workers. And the Human Resource Department is working to hire those seasonal workers. The poll worker department, like I said, that they hire between 3 and 4 one-day workers. Poll workers can earn $220 and up for being a poll worker on election day. The poll worker manual has been updated, and we expect to get that manual sometime this week or next. They are also working to bring in train-the-trainers. Those are the individuals who will be training the poll workers. In the May election, all poll workers will be trained for this election, both new and returning workers. Poll worker classes begin March 9th, and we will be conducting some of those classes in the early vote center. We had hoped that we would be able to use the upper level of the vote center as well, but that's a little bit in question. But we do have multiple locations throughout the city where people can get trained to be election day workers. That's, it's an important role. It's one that a lot of people are concerned about election integrity and so forth. It's a great way to serve your community as part of the election process. And sometimes we don't get quite the number of people who are interested in serving as poll workers as in a primary as we do, let's say, in a presidential or a general election. So we just want to really encourage people to participate and get trained. And like I said, also our Human Resources Department, we bring in 200 seasonal workers. Seasonal workers can earn $15 an hour, and it's a great temporary position. It's a full-time job for a limited period of time. like everything at the Board of Elections, we do it in a bipartisan manner, both Republicans and Democrats working together. Just some of the positions that we are looking to fill within our poll worker department. We hire, like I said, we hire trainers and training assistants who will help train those poll workers for Election Day. We also have recruiters who actively work to help fill those Election Day positions. In our ballot department, as I said, they proof the ballot. They also test and verify every voting machine that goes out on Election Day. The absentee department processes people who come to vote early here at the board, but also they process the vote-by-mail applications to verify the information is all included and is correct. Also, when the ballots come back, they verify that the ID information and signatures and so forth are correct as well. So, and our election support department prepares all the materials that will go out on Election Day. So there's a lot of work that goes. It's ongoing and it'll continue to gain speed. But like I said, this is a time where we are looking to get both Democrats and Republicans, and in a heavily Democratic county, Republicans are always needed. So I just want to encourage everybody to get involved, be part of the process, and be part of the solution. Thanks.
Thank you, Deputy Director Gallagher. Any questions for our Deputy Director? All right, hearing none, the chair has received no request for public comment, nor has he received a request for executive session. Therefore, I move to adjourn the meeting.
Second.
Second by Ms. Stewart. All in favor, aye. The ayes have it. Happy Mardi Gras. Have a great day.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Happy Mardi Gras.